Welcome once again to Musings by Danon. If you're new here, my name is Danon. I've been watching anime since 1985, and I'm currently reading over 500 manga or light novel series. As someone who has read a lot of manga and seen a lot of anime, as well as studied genre and story structure, I feel I have a pretty good grasp on which manga are worth your time, depending on your tastes. Which brings us to today's video, The Bibliophile Princess. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Waffles sponsored this video and asked that I watch the anime for Bibliophile Princess and then give my thoughts on it. My initial impression is I can see why Waffles loves this anime so much. Allow me to set the scene. The main character, Eliana Bernstein, called Ellie by her friends and family, loves books more than anything else in the world. She is the daughter of Duke Bernstein, one of the nobles of the Sausland Kingdom. I'll go with the English reading here because the Japanese voice actors all called it Sausalando, and I can't say that with a straight face. But I digress. Where were we? The only thing Ellie wishes to do is read, all day, every day. She doesn't care about pretty dresses, or going to parties, or have any interest in the opposite sex. If it's not a book, Ellie doesn't care. One fateful day 4 years ago, the prince proposed to her. He knows she has no interest other than books, but he's trying to avoid all these marriage proposals, other nobles hounding him, and the power struggles common to the palace. Also, as his fiancée, she won't have to go to parties or matchmaking events or dances. Instead, she'll be able to spend all that free time reading. As an added bonus, Ellie will be able to read all the books in the royal archive. This last part convinces Eliana more than anything else to accept the prince's proposal. She knows this is just a fake engagement. It benefits both her and the prince to continue this facade. Eventually, the prince will break off the engagement when he finds a more suitable candidate. 4 years pass, and now our young Ellie is 18. And lately, she's seen the prince enjoying the company of another beautiful young lady. The two of them seem to be enjoying themselves. Eliana realizes that her fake engagement is about to end, and resolves herself to her fate. But she realizes that it's not the books she'll be missing, it's Christopher, the prince, and her fiancé. Even though it was a fake engagement, she realizes she loves him even more than she loves books. What is a girl supposed to do? Okay, now that we have the premise out of the way, let's talk about what works for the series and what doesn't. I'll get the negative stuff out of the way first so we can end on a positive note. The first thing may be a translation issue, because High Dive is saying that the Bernsteins, the family that Ellie belongs to, is a ducal family, but my anime list says they're barons. There are lots and lots of different titles throughout the world, but in a proto-medieval European-based society like this one, barons are the lowest of the nobles. Next, you've got counts. Sometimes marquises are above counts, sometimes below. It varies, so that doesn't really bother me. Again, sometimes a specific baron may wield more power than a specific count, but generally the title of count outranks that of baron. Next up on the hierarchy is duke. A duke is second only to the royal family, and there have been times throughout history where certain dukes held more power than the royal family. William X, for example, the father of Eleanor of Aquitaine, controlled more land than Louis VII, the King of France and his sometime son-in-law. My issue with Bibliophile Princess is that because she's from such a low-ranking family, there's no way she could marry the prince. This is an actual thought Ellie has about herself, and it is often repeated. This took me completely out of the story, and I had to actively ignore it or to try to think that it was a mistranslation of some kind to finish watching the show. My brain kept coming back to the idea that a duke's family wasn't high-ranked enough to marry into royalty, except that dukes are often royalty. The other problem I have with this series is the main character. We spend most of the series in her head, which means that most of the tension and problems in this series are all because Ellie can't get out of her own head and talk to people. Once she talks to people, most of the problems simply go away. Either that or the problem only existed in her head and wasn't a real issue in the first place. She's basically a book-smart airhead with no social skills. But I suppose that character type appeals to some people. This show is a soft shoujo romance. The artwork is gorgeous, the men are far more attractive than the women, and the tension is low. Most problems are resolved simply by talking. Because Ellie has read thousands of books, she's able to view problems from different perspectives. But that also means she thinks she can solve all her own problems by herself. But an outsider's perspective has numerous advantages. This is why Ellie can simply look at a puzzle and offer solutions, as we see throughout the series. But due to the effect of psychological distancing, where things outside our purview are abstract and therefore easier to adjust or rethink, but things close to us are concrete and therefore unchangeable, Ellie often gets wrapped up in her own problems, spiraling out of control, until someone swoops in to rescue her. Ellie is something of a savant, and she absolutely worships books. To the point that after she smacks a sexist pig in the face with a book and then kicks him in the crotch, trust me, he deserved it, she yells at him for damaging the book with his face. This moment, like lots of others throughout the series, are cute and heartwarming. Ellie is also a visual learner. She retains information that she's read but struggles to remember conversations. I did relate to this aspect of Ellie's personality. I remember books I read as a child vividly but struggle to recall conversations that are more than a month old. That's why I can't do audiobooks for new books and don't really listen to podcasts. The information goes in one ear and out the other. But of course, this is a proto-medieval European society, so learning styles aren't really discussed. Again, this is a shoujo romance. So if you want something soft, low stress, and cute, you'll enjoy Bibliophile Princess. I probably would have enjoyed it more had it been a josei, like The Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter. Give me character growth and budding romance and characters working their best for each other, rather than cute girl reads all day, how adorable. Have you watched Bibliophile Princess? What did you think? Are there any other anime that you've watched and enjoyed? Leave a comment below. Also, happy birthday to Waffles. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. There are several tiers to choose from. You can pick an anime or manga for me to do a video about, or you can join our monthly manga club. If you're looking for Commander content, I split my channel last year, so all new Commander videos are over on my other channel, Commander by Danon. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, Oton, Richard, Pog Zombie, Ing, and Michael. You guys are awesome. I post anime or manga videos often, or you can click here to watch additional videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.